There you go.
Cool. Ahoy hoy.
Go back to editor.
The title's still the fucking same on it. Can they hear it?
They shouldn't be, no.
There we go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Hobby Hangout. It's only myself and Ben today, which is kind of awesome. I don't have to wear headphones to hear you.
I'm here in reality.
Yeah.
Not in mystical land, I'm here in reality now.
I wonder why Lance's picture's there. Is that just a placeholder?
It's because Lance wanted to be here with us in spirit. And he set this up so we wouldn't press the wrong button. So
which we almost did anyway.
Which we almost did.
We almost logged ourselves
John went into the corner and I was like, ooh, wonder what this button does. Nope. No, don't press that.
He just came up with, are you sure you want to log out and shut down? It's like, no, I'm not. No.
So yeah, we won't be doing that.
I wonder if I should just go to... There we go.
Da, 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 da.
You can see our pretty faces a little
See
bit.
my pretty faces. If you go into the post as well, you can see my wonderful paint art skills again as well. So, but people can do that for themselves and see later, because I'm sure that's going to become the cover image later. So
Oh yeah,
well, so,
probably,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
So let's start with a little run through the Waypan thread first.
Yep, sounds good.
Because we have a couple of pages to catch up on, and then we went and picked out a few projects that we like the look of. So there's a lot of
and I missed out on last week as well. So apparently there's some really good stuff in there, and there was one you were talking about, which was really cool, Space Marine Terminator and stuff, wasn't there? Like a librarian, which was really cool. But yes, some more stuff. Yeah. Let us go forth.
Forth we shall go. Which button is it? That one. Yeah!
Victory is mine. We didn't blow things up.
Exactly. So first up we have Blipvertus.
Who's doing a bit of Monsterpocalypse, which is really awesome.
This stuff looks really, really cool, and I'm going to go to full browser for this, because...
Full browser engaged.
If I click on this, will it take me somewhere? Yep.
Ah!
Never mind.
I've left the safe confines of Beasts of War.
Or OnTableTop.
OnTabletop.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I thought Justin was going to lunch there wearing my jacket.
He's stolen everything you own.
Yeah. This is awesome. I love the choice of colours because they're so... What would you call it? Like
I call it Power Ranger colour. I call it Power Ranger palette.
Power Ranger palette.
Yeah.
Crossed with a bit of Gundam in there too.
Crossed with a bit of Gundam.
Yeah.
Gundam. Yeah, I really like these. I think these are fantastic. I love the bright blues and the reds, going up against the sort of off-white.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of off-white.
Everything goes well with off-white, which is great, and the brighter it is, the better it is. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. He really likes his big guy.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go with some vehicles. Again, keeping that off-white thing going, that is really cool.
It also means it's really freaking easy to paint these as well.
Yeah.
Because you go with like a white or an off-white, use a sort of sepia tone over the top of it or something.
Yeah.
And then work up on those massive primary colours as well to sort of keep things going. So.
Just as soon as you say, I love how off-white works with everything, well, there's a helicopter with none, and there's some flyers with none.
God damn it! Paint all your stuff properly.
There we go.
It looks lovely.
There we go.
That's great.
Those tanks look really cool like that. Really nice. And
I think it's a really nice thing that they've done with what Privateer Press have done when it comes to Monsterpocalypse now, where they've taken it away from that pre-painted view and instead changed things around so it's a little bit more hobby focused again, because it kind of appeals to a lot of different people then at that stage, which is really cool. And of course you could always just put them together and spray them, couldn't you, and just have them as one colour if you want to.
Which is what we did.
It is? Yeah. It is, for the Let's Play stuff that we... it was Justin and Ryan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did that. Yeah. Justin Alpha striked him out of existence. I'm sorry.
On to Pun Dancer, who's doing some more Star Wars. We're going to continue to call him Pun Dancer, I think, forever. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he's in at the minute or not.
I don't think he could. I don't think he could join us this week for the chat because he was away with family or something. But
family.
We're your family.
Disgraceful. We're the only family.
But is he working on Star Wars stuff?
Star Wars, yep, more Star Wars Legion. So he's got the. Is that some snow rebels? I'm going to call them.
Rebels.
Shrebbles. with this sort of like
radar
dish gun thing that I thought was horrible in Empire. But there you go.
They're very effective in Star Wars Battlefront, though.
Are they?
In the originals.
Okay.
Set them very good at taking out aircraft and stuff. But anyway, that stuff's actually out now as well for everybody to pick up. Like genuinely, like at stores and stuff now. I think Fantasy Flight were talking about it Friday. I think it was talking about the fact that all this stuff was out now for people to pick up at retailers. And again, it's really nice to see them sort of adding again to the like Hoth side of things, sort of building that up as a potential battleground for you to fight in.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see what people are doing table-wise and stuff in the future too, which is cool. That's what it's called, an E-Web Blaster.
Yeah, Jerry's keeping us right.
But I think that's the more like las cannon looking one. I don't know what the big dish gun is called.
I have a feeling that's what it is.
No, I'm
sure?
pointing at something and that's...
You're pointing and you can't see.
They're like the gun.
The Kroot gun.
Yeah, there we go. The one on the right is the E-Web. The other one we're just going to call the dish gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
From Hot Point.
Microwave killer.
Chaos Gorka is still working on some Harry Potter stuff.
I love the stuff that he paints. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yep. His attention to detail on cloth is just unreal. The basing's nice and simple. I like people doing simple basing because it looks more effective in a way.
Yeah, I think that's good for what Night Mods are trying to achieve with the Harry Potter game as well. Anyway, because the whole point of that is that it's like this board game that you play out on various different landscapes.
Yeah,
and so having a basing technique which is kind of sort of generic, suits all, really, really works. And also it's a nice frame for the miniature as well, which is really cool. We actually saw some of the Night Model stuff at Essen Spiel.
Yeah, is it good up close?
Really nice, really high detail stuff. Like if you've seen what they've been doing now with the the resins for Batman and the DC universe. Seeing that translated over into the Harry Potter stuff has been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how many people are going to be able to get a hold of it. That's the only thing. But I'm sure people will fill us in if there's any information on what's going on with Harry Potter and stuff and where it's available and things. But
cool. Let's go on to Bothy, because Bothy is doing this project, this Primaris Space Marine project, where he's basically Call has reinvented the Luna Wolves, who became the Sons of Horus, who then became Black Legion.
Yes.
I think is how the 30k to 40k thing went.
But interestingly as well, that's really cool delving back into the history, because the big thing about Belarus Call and what he's been doing is that he was focused in on this idea of bringing out that existing gene seed. What?
What have we done wrong?
What? No! You're there, not here! Go away!
What have we done?
Okay, right. Have we done anything wrong?
Sweet.
Well, shh. I noticed that it went out without the proper title.
I changed the title.
Yeah, it's called Hobby Hangout Your Projects.
No, it came out on my phone as something else.
Nyctophobia.
Yeah.
That was out yesterday if you want to go and see that. And you can catch the catch-up of that later on today. But,
Anyway.
It's all good now.
I'm away because it's my day off.
What? Did you bring me any food?
Buy you some shower gel if you want that.
Yeah. Presents. It's nice being here in reality. Oh no, I have to shower in the real world. Don't do that. Don't do it in the digital world.
Wreck your computer. So yeah, Bothy's been tinkering around with this, bringing the Luna Wolves and stuff back, and I read the Dark Imperium novel.
All right.
And there's a part where Belisarius Call's talking to Roboti Gilliman, or whatever.
Robot Girly Man.
Robot Girly Man. I can't get over that. And Call is still saying, I want to look at the Traitor Gene Seed. I want to explore that. I want to like see if I can use it. And Gilliman's just like, no, hell no, don't you dare. Where are you till I come and kill you for even suggesting such things? And Call's just like, I'm sorry, the line is very...
The machine spirit is displeased.
Yeah. So I like that because Bothy's tied that in, or his idea ties in with that piece of established lore, which is great.
Yeah. It's kind of it's interesting as a whole for what's happening with 40k at the moment, because you've got this real push towards, that gaming in the gaps that we've always talked about.
Yeah.
And the ability, like the way that the Imperium set up now with that rift and all that kind of thing, it's been really interesting to see how what people have been interpreting from that, and bringing to life. So and it gets to be interesting with the Primaris as well.
Yeah, so. And Workshop's been doing great stuff with allowing you to use your collection in other ways.
Yeah.
With Kill Team and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of YouTube channels going mad for Kill Team.
Yeah, and these would be perfect for that, because you just make this little tiny knit team of,
it's like
Luna
6
Wolves.
Models. Then there's your Kill Team.
And just use them in your games and tell a story that you want to tell of like Belisarius Call and all that kind of thing in the background with Kill Team, and then expand it up into a larger army if you want to in the future. Even though I don't believe you should do that and just play Kill Team. Who cares about 40k? But anyway.
How dare you? How dare you? Because I want to restart. Sorry, restart my Imperial Guard army.
What?
How
are you restarting it?
I've had 4 guard armies in the past.
Yeah.
I want another one. Because I keep.
Do you have anything left over from those old guard armies to make it to a new one?
1 Baneblade.
It's enough.
It gets me started, right?
Yeah.
I could play Kill Team with a Baneblade.
Oh, yeah.
It would be the whole.
Yeah, it would
the
be
whole
thing.
Yeah. Might have to take a few weapons off.
Chris says, Traitor Gene Seed is used already in the Grey Knights who use them. Okay.
There you go.
I suppose, I guess the Grey Knights and their progenitors have definitely got something to, because they're all psychics, aren't they? So, is it something to do with the Thousand Suns? I can't remember. I'm sure Darker Days Radio Chris is going to tell me. But that was the Blood Ravens, wasn't it, as well? Because they were considered to be potentially Traitor Gene Seed.
No, they didn't know their actual origins. They didn't know which Primarch they were under.
But they didn't become emos about it like the Dark Angels. So, they just kicked ass instead.
Dark Angels just turned around and went, our dad kind of betrayed the Emperor. Oh, what was me?
Sad Hold on. Now.
What was me?
Wow, that's an amazing cosplay of a Dark Angel.
Moving on. One of the original Grey Knights was a Death Guard. Oh, of course it was I have his model, Garrow. Nathaniel Garrow was one of the first knights errant of the Sigilite. I don't know if he actually formed the Grey Knights though. I think that was different.
Chris agrees with you though, so that's bonus.
Yeah.
There you go. Subadai say you can get yourself an infantry platoon plus some tank support will be just right. And John has it right. Perfect.
Tanks all the time. Right.
Dark Angels are my favourite traitor legion. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that most Dark Angels would also agree. We are the best traitors. Because no one knows.
Or like Alpha Legion as well are kind of...
That's true.
Did they betray the Emperor? Nobody knows. Yeah. Right. Collins is working on a Star Wars table, which is looking really, really superb.
Is this the one that we've been seeing slowly coming to life over the last couple of months, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he did the landing pad and everything like that, didn't he? Which is really
looks so cool. Let's go to full browser because we get a better image. That is just such a nice table. Wow. He's clearly stolen our idea of using the Ravel Easy kits for the X-Wings. But yeah, that's fine. We have 8 of them. You have 1 of them. I have to paint 8 of them.
I like that though. It'll be interesting to see if he creates some more of a little bit more of a transition, perhaps. Between the landing pad and the rest of the table. Although it's like a starting point for like a quick and easy build.
Yeah. Like
set up and play immediately. That's really cool. But I guess that's something that you have to consider if you're going to be trying to make something that's a bit more modular, don't you? You have to sort of mix up the idea of either it being a bit more quick and easy to play with, or sort of more of a complete piece, I guess. But just so you know, and if I say it on live stream, does it make it real?
Yeah.
I was talking to John about Lord of the Rings, because me and Sam have been talking about Lord of the Rings, because obviously we do all the time. That's all we talk about, and Discworld. And I was saying how there's fantastic scenarios in the book.
I know where this is going.
Yeah,
I know where this is going.
And one of the most amazing scenarios, of course, is Amon Hen. And I was like, John, do you think we can ever make Amon Hen? And he was like, no. But if I say it on live stream and people support me, then that's got to happen, hasn't it?
You have more support on the website than I do, so shut up.
I don't know, man. You've got some loyal Johnites who follow your hobby stuff. Lionites. Oh my God, Lionites. The Lionite Legion.
Yes. We are not like Lionel Johnson. We will not run away.
But yeah, how cool would it be to make scenario boards for Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I'm sure it would be, Ben. Let's move on.
Mines of Moria is all I'm saying. Balin's Tomb would be epic. Jerry says fight. No, Jerry. I'm going to gently make you do it. That sounds really dark.
That's disturbing.
I'm going to gently make you do it.
Also, Chris, we didn't check out your Titans last week, but I have been seeing you posting them on Facebook, and I am not only jealous of your airbrush skills, I'm jealous of your photography skills, and I'm jealous of pretty much everything you do with miniature painting. So
yeah. He says he's like, I think he was saying somewhere before that he was going to pick up Speed Freaks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you do with Speed Freaks. I love what you've been doing the rest of your models, as John was saying. So yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Titanicus, Ollie P is doing some Warhounds because they were the more Ollie P. The Warhounds only recently came out, so
John would be Subadai's favourite if he didn't keep slagging off 2000 AD. No one cares about 2000 AD.
No one cares apart from Dread. No one cares.
Yeah. If Carl Urban came and told me, then I'd be happy. But
if Carl Urban burst into this room right now with Jared Butler in tow, I would just be like, I will accept anything you tell me.
Yeah.
That's fine. Even if they said 2000 AD was great.
You're not the boss of us, Jerry says. Chris says those Titans were not airbrushed. Weirdly, it was like I like having the roughness of the painting of a brush to giving it that scale. Okay, right.
That's an interesting approach.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, Ollie's done a really nice job on these two. Really.
Oh, that's lovely.
Gorgeous. Look at that.
Getting that yellow to work just like that is wonderful.
It's not easy. I think I did a couple of layers. I did yellow on the the big one we painted in here.
I totally watched your stream, so I know.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yep. So he's doing them for Legio Graphonicus.
Legio Graphonicus.
Very nice. I like the line patterns on the back of the Titan. That's really cool.
Yep.
And having that additional work going into the basing too, so you've got the road layouts and stuff is really nice. And it means that when you set it down to the board, it's going to blend in really well with these sort of urban environments that you get a lot for Adeptus Titanicus, which is cool.
I really must actually gather up some Titanicus stuff. Even if I never play it, this is one of the things that happens in my side of the hobby. Even if I never play it, I just want it. I've played.
I think that goes for a lot of people in the hobby, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I've played like 4 games of 8th edition 40k since I got my Stone Templar and my Knights. I still haven't played a game with my Knights yet, and I still want to buy more of them just because they're awesome.
I think it's certainly something that's coming up with a lot more with 40k at the moment. A lot of people are buying things and just getting into the hobby side of it.
Yeah,
which is really interesting because you would have imagined that 40k would have more or less been sort of the gamers side of things, but you see a lot more people making a lot more hobby projects just to have them, I think. Judge Dredd is now the most realistic future vision for the second half of the 21st century. Quite possibly. But I'm not a pessimist. It's going to be better.
There may be a big war. It may not be nuclear, but there may be a big war.
As long as it doesn't turn it into Mad Max, we'll be fine. So
what's wrong with Mad Max?
I don't want to be spraying aerosol into my mouth and stuff like that.
You don't have to.
So you do.
If you see anyone that looks remotely like a Morton Joe, you stab the guy and just forget about the whole thing. You stab him and you walk away.
John's rules for the post-apocalypse.
Stab him and walk away.
40k is going to be the source of miniatures for the Wrath and Glory RPG. Blackstone Fortress is going to be sweet for that. Oh yeah, definitely.
I
do hate sand; it gets everywhere. Yeah.
We've seen the leak image of the new Kroot.
Yeah.
Coming for that, and that looked amazing. I think it was some sort of Kroot shaper.
In fact, can we be nifty and can we find it on the website?
Don't know. Is it on the website?
Yeah, put
it's on the website.
Put it in the news this morning.
This button.
Press a button.
This button?
Press another button.
Okay.
Scroll. There we go.
Here?
Yeah, see if you click on that.
Okay, so let's
go down.
Let's go to full version.
Because this is actually really interesting because I brought it up in so that's the new captain.
Yeah.
So that's Janus Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I love how awesome. And they're doing this thing again with their character miniatures where they put alien creatures in that you've never heard of really before and drop it into the background so you can see the thing on his back there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks awesome, which is really good. They've done these videos as well, which is really cool.
The Kroot though.
Yeah.
I love the look of
Kroot
that.
Hunter.
He is such a nice mini. And it's
lovely.
nice to see even the Tau Empire remotely getting something. Mm-hmm. You notice on his rifle looks a lot more Tau-esque than the older Kroot, unless I'm maybe just not having.
I think it's the same as an old style hunt rifle that they had, but the painting's slightly different. I think.
Yeah.
To make it look a little bit more worn. I think. But yeah, I remember back in the day when they did the White Dwarf rules for just entire Kroot armies as well.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Nice. This guy's amazing.
I love that model.
That is the most suave, smoking utensil I've ever seen.
Yeah. And yeah, as Chris was saying, the last time we saw a Kroot miniature was actually Inquisitor, so 54mm scale.
Wow, okay.
Because they also did, at that time, they were doing some Xenos pieces, I believe. And I think they did an Eldar Ranger as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ever went as far as doing an Orc freebooter or anything, but that would have been cool. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with this.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Back to Waypan.
Back to weapons.
So Piers working more on his Norse warband.
Yeah, so we saw a little bit of this.
Piers is such a solid painter. His work here is excellent. Mm-hmm. That red, that is a smooth
lovely
red.
Deep red.
Yeah.
That's the kind of red I was trying to get to work on my Anglo-Saxons, because I wanted to have this. I wanted the Vikings in blue and the Anglo-Saxons in red, but I could never get it looking quite smooth enough, especially on the shields. I'd always had that problem. I think I didn't water my paints down enough, as Duncan would always say.
Too thin coats.
Too thin coats. And I'd always get I'd always get the brush marks in there when I was. So I think I need to go back to the painting table and think a little bit more about that. But
I think it's about time we invested in a cheap airbrush.
Say what? I know someone who's got one going because they've never used it. Someone called Justin.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't trust that brush. I'd say that thing is solid with something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Okay.
paint. Oh,
yeah.
now Pun Dancer actually calls it the E-Web, so there we go.
There we go.
And we've also been told what the turret is too.
1.4
1.4 FD
FD
laser turret.
Yeah.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Mm.
I think you'd be dead by the time you said bring that thing up.
They were things you saw at the top of the trench networks, weren't they, in Hoth?
Yeah.
Firing out at the ATSTs.
That looked about as effective as throwing eggs at them. Yeah.
Yeah, getting stomped on by something.
Mac Gothmog.
Gothmog.
What else can we say about this? Because we've seen this Terminator last week, we've seen this Librarian last week, and now you have this. And that's amazing.
So that's the objective piece, isn't it? That
Yeah.
you get included with the new version of the newer version of Space
The
Hulk?
latest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the... Oh, man. It's so cool. Because you hear so many stories in like the fluff around Terminators of them going back to retrieve ancient armor that has been lost before because it's so hard for them to make it again.
Yeah.
And suddenly you see that. Oh,
And it's like, we need this Terminator suit and damn the skeleton that's in it.
yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I really like that. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Potter. Harry Potter.
You're a Hizzard Wary.
I'm a Hizzard Wary. Or as Dawn Friend, you're a woman, Harry. What? That's lovely.
Moving on.
What? No, I want to go back up. Right.
Go
That
on.
model
Uh-huh.
looks great,
Yep.
apart from what on earth have Night Model's done to his face? He looks like Waldo or Wally.
Does.
He just
the glasses
he
that do it.
yeah, he needs like a bobble hat. Because that I can't. What have they done to Daniel Radcliffe's face?
What is
Can
it?
you, can you see that?
What is
Yeah.
it? Right.
Wait a minute, is it Lance in that picture? Lance is a wizard.
Can I? No, I'm not going to Google image Daniel Radcliffe's face. Yeah, I do agree with you. I think that some of the proportions are just off somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
But otherwise,
Great
very
model.
nice.
And beautifully painted, of course.
like the motion in the cloak, and that's been brought out in the painting as well with some really nice highlighting and shading, which is
Yep.
really good.
Yep.
Because we're meant to be talking about painting, not sculpting. So. You're a wizard, Waldo. Yes. The boy who
On-
could not be found.
On to Lena, who has been toiling over this miniature for months now, Lena. I know you're in the chat.
God.
But she has been toiling over this for a long time, and
That's
finally,
amazingly beautifully ugly, but
Isn't
in
it?
a fantastic way.
it's a face that maybe not even a mother would love.
Wow.
Isn't that just incredible?
4 months, she thinks.
4 months. Wow. There's very little to say about it other than that's just amazing. But
I love-
it's the wings that sell.
The wings are fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Truly excellent job.
All those different varieties of blue.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is where I would have cheated, and I would have done it in one shade of blue, and then put a wash over the top, and then forgotten about it. But that's stunning.
No, definitely hats off, Lena. That is superb work.
That is wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we will look forward to your next finished project in another 4 months. I'm gonna keep her going. She is going to message me right after this and go, "How dare you say that to me?" I'm like, "I'm."
She might do it
waiting."
right now.
She'll be like,
But
"I'll
yeah.
get kicked off."
I've said it before actually though, but Aurora's done some amazing stuff, and it's been wonderful seeing. And for a lot of our community members that post things regularly, it's been wonderful seeing their transition between how they started out and where they are now.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the people that paint that I can't remember who's the wonderful chap who paints all the Saga stuff. Who's Doug the
Fug.
Seeing what he does and how he's progressed has been superb on like batch painting, and then seeing stuff that Aurora does where it's all focused in around 1 or 2 miniatures, and seeing that development has been fantastic. And that's a benefit of having things like what are you painting now, where you can get that immediate feedback in there, and also through the project system as well, which is really cool. So.
We have seen a lot of painters coming up and really improving over the time. I mean, even I've forgotten his name already. Bothy. with the Luna Wolves.
Crap, both of you. No.
But both of you, the first of those Luna Wolves he posted, there's a definite change of quality from where he started to where he is now, and I think people are just, even if you're just saying like quietly in a message or something, just maybe add an extra bit here, or maybe try another coat of paint here, and everything improves.
The benefit of us doing these hobby hangouts as well is being able to look at this and say, and immediately be able to give feedback to people, and then them responding maybe in a couple of weeks and saying, hey, I tried something out different.
Yeah.
What do you think of what I've done now? So it's been really cool. But.
So, Lena, for you, the next time you do wings like this, wet blending. I want to see some wet blending.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it, are you? No, I wouldn't blame you either.
No washes, all the feathers were highlighted one by one.
Yes. I did watch her, like, occasionally she'd put a picture on and be like, I got 3 feathers done tonight. It's like,
wow. Jeez Louise.
Ooh. Moving on. The Buckland Brewer has whatever this is.
So this is the guy that we saw a couple of weeks ago doing the Deep Wars bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So we saw him doing that's his project there as well, actually, which we looked at.
Yeah,
we're looking at Deep Wars and Shadow Sea, and this was him. And so we wanted him to show off more individual pieces, and so this is a work in progress of one of the pieces he's been doing, which is really cool. Using the Scale 75 paints, which I have never actually ever used.
I've got a few of them at home, but I'm mostly using their metallics, and their metallics are great.
Are they? Is there anything in particular that you feel has been? Why is it about? What about their metallics is it that you've picked up over other ones? Is it just because they were nearby?
They have a. No, I actually went out and purposefully bought them. Yeah. They have a nice consistency to them. Their pigmentation isn't the strongest. You very rarely get a one coat cover out of them.
Okay.
But that encourages you to paint them thin, and when you paint them thin, they come up this beautiful sheen comes off their metallics. Okay. Really, it becomes a very nice high shine the more layers you put on.
Right.
So long as you keep it thin.
So is it more? They're very matte, as Chris says there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. So they don't have that almost immediate metallic look that you get from like a Games Workshop paint. Where it looks like the metal because they have like flakes in them, don't they?
Yeah, all metallics do. Yeah. But I think the Scale 75 stuff has
slightly more toned.
It's slightly finer in a way.
Right.
I would argue. Whereas the workshop paints are essentially get your 2 coats down and you're done. Or if you're really lazy, get 1 coat down and you're done.
Do they come in the dropper bottles and stuff like that? Yeah. Okay.
They're really superb.
So there's a lot more control in them, same as what you'd have with like Army Painter and stuff.
Yeah.
So
everybody should move to Dropper Bottles Workshop.
just for the sake of all the people that make the MDF racks, so they can only make 1 line instead of having to make 2. There you go. So Chris says the main range of paints is quite matte. The fancy range is much thinner, much more like a Vallejo. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So yeah, nice.
I like that. Yeah, I'm going back to this. I love that really nice popping red that's going to be contrasted against the sort of undersea blue.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see how that finishes off. And again, it's talking about this like Antimatter Games and their Deep Wars and Shadow Sea stuff. Really high quality miniatures. Really something very different and unique.
Largely overlooked, I thought, over the last few years.
Yeah, I always tend to view them a little bit like how I view GCT and Bushido, like games that everyone really, really enjoys and miniature ranges that people enjoy, but you don't see them actually popping up that often on tabletops. So
I bought a couple of pieces from them like years ago, but
Bushido or
Antimatter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Onwards. Pagan Wolves. To David.
That's
and his
kind of interesting.
Ooh. Wow, that's an interesting texture choice for the wolves,
isn't it? It's like you could paint. Hang on. Let's just make progress in wolves. These, if you painted them in autumn colors, would just look like the literal Timberwolf.
Oh yeah,
like made of leaves and stuff, and you could paint them like the legs and stuff being made of wood or something.
That's really cool. I like that idea.
That's an idea I stole from My Little Pony.
You'd have to be ashamed about My Little Pony.
Yeah. They did an episode where they had timber wolves, and it was just wolves, magical wolves made out of bits of branch and tree and stuff. And I was like, that is actually kind of cool looking. In its
I'm
own
using
way.
that for D&D.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. Oh wow! So he's done like a. So he used a particular. What was the wash on the first one he used? If you go back up,
it was.
So he used Agrax to texture to do the paler ones, and then a Badam black to do the darker ones.
Yeah.
Those are hints of red in that as well, or is that just the way that
It's just as lighting, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see the red tint going on in the background there as well. That's his lighting.
That's really nice though. I like that.
Those wolves are that I can't get over this texture on the wolves. It's slightly odd. Their faces though.
Yeah, it's something that Games Workshop do with their fur though, isn't it? Like you see it on their cloaks and things. But
yeah.
Remember though, there are no wolves on Fenris.
No wolves on Fenris.
No wolves on Fenris. Oh, what is Tom Bedid?
Well, that's a Deathclaw.
Working through the Fallout Wasteland Warfare starter, and remember I had a 3D model of a Brahmin that he wanted to use. So he's used the PVC Deathclaw.
Posing using hot water and ice water.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
That is a good looking Deathclaw.
Yeah. Have you picked up any of the Fallout stuff?
I after Justin was filming with the guys, the stuff they had unboxed, I managed to sneak away with the Brotherhood of Steel starter box.
So is that a resin one for the Brotherhood of Steel? And then have you got the PVC from the...
I haven't got the PVC now.
Okay, right.
I'm not, as I have said in the unboxing and stuff, I'm just not enamoured with the PVC at all. I'm not going to paint it.
But how did the Brotherhood of Steel box come out in terms of quality? Was it good?
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. I already have the
That's something good for
power
people
painted.
looking to pick it up then. The resin stuff is still pretty nice. So I've actually been quite tempted by Modiphius's Actum Cthulhu miniatures game.
Yeah.
Because I really want to. I actually posted it on Facebook. I really wanted to get back into bolt action because I saw like one of the the Facebook memories things, and it was showing off the bolt action project.
I see you shared that one, didn't you? I showed.
But I painted kind of quickly, and I kind of enjoyed how they came out. But I was like, man, I'd love to play some bolt action, and then I was thinking, I could just play some Commodore 47.
Yeah.
And I could get my weird on. So, which is not a weird phrase. That disemboweled cow is a creepy touch. It is. Good objective marker.
Per Brahmin.
You could say that someone stuffed a message into the Brahmin.
They stuffed the Jedi into the Brahmin.
Yeah.
And I thought it smelled bad on the
outside. Buy it quick if you want it, Ben. They've already stopped reprinting the RPG stuff. God damn it, Jerry. Why are you making me spend money now? I wanted to leave that as a problem for future, Ben.
Oh.
Hello, gents.
He's walked in with purpose.
We have a wandering Lloyd.
I'm back to the dentist.
Oh, very good.
Look, John.
You know, this isn't a This isn't the dentist.
But I can make this hobby-wise, right? Because he popped out the big filling, this big chunk of a thing, and I said, can I have that? He's like, what do you want it for? Well, it's Halloween, I'm going to freak the wife out with it for a start. But I was thinking about this, I'm going to put it onto something, I'm going to base it, my filling. Is that freaky?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bit freaky. It seemed like a waste to just chuck it away, though.
Is this going to be, like, the objective marker for one of your games of Saga?
That's it. Oh, I put a sword in the stone.
There you go.
Oh, sword in the filling. That's
there
it.
There we go. Oh, God. Lloyd repurposes everything. You do not want to know what he does with toiletry products. So, yeah.
Here on Tabletop, we throw nothing away.
You should see his desk in the other room where he's just got tins of beans just set off to the side. It's like
there's
I walked in and I was like, what on earth?
There's like 3 or 4 tubs in the hobby room just full of empty drinks cans and bean tins, and it's like, what are we using this for? No idea.
I wonder what other body parts make good terrain. We'll leave that to the comments, I believe.
We'll leave that to everyone else's imagination. Yeah. Tauros is working on a Primaris as well.
Or he, as he calls it, a Space Marine person. Space Marine person.
Tauros, looking forward to seeing what you're doing with that. But I just love the fact it's a Space Marine person.
Is that tan or gold? I can't really tell.
I think it's tan.
Tan? Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Don't quote me. It could be metallic. Oh. Please, Manda, no. Moving on. Hazy Boy 75.
Working on the Absolute Power Posse for WWX.
Absolute
Wild West
Power.
Exodus. Oh wow, I love that big dude in the hood. That's pretty cool.
The big thing in the hood.
Big dude in the hood.
I love the look at that cloth work.
That's great.
Really nice job.
Hello, bugger off. Don't worry. It's okay if you're late. We are usually fashionably late. Although, actually, we were quite on time today.
We were more on time than usual today.
What can I say? Lance is anchor dragging us down. So.
He's holding us back.
It's not that he'd set up everything like 3 hours ahead of time. So that we didn't have to. All we had to do was press a button. But yeah. Oh, wow.
These are great.
Nice photography as well.
Yeah.
Showing off lots of different ways to get a shot of the miniature so you can see all the details that have gone into it, which is really cool.
Very nice stuff. Oh, Andy, what are you doing now? You're painting something amazing. Let's move on.
With Red Dead Redemption out, seeing a lot more people getting into their cowboys. Their cowfolk.
The cowfolk.
Can we have a close look at that miniature?
This one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow. That's really cool. I like all the dirt that's gone into the bottom of the coats there, which is really nice. Maybe I need to pick up some tombstone stuff.
I think you need to stop thinking about buying stuff a lot.
What?
Because, I mean, you think about it as much as I do.
I do.
And I know what my bank account's like, so what's yours?
Yeah. I've been toying with picking up the Fellowship as well from Lord of the Rings, which is pretty bad. Because they're not cheap. Oh. Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. Nice mini
The
too.
Marvel Cosmics. Oh, is that one of the old? That must be one of the old Night Models ones before they discontinued the line, I guess.
He's gone a bit non-metallic on it too, which is kind of.
I like that.
Your photography's a little blurry, Andrew, but that's not the biggest deal. That's just a tinkering with your camera a bit more. The green on the cloak is really nice.
I like
too.
that. And the deep greens contrasted with the very, very bright ones. It's very comic book, which is good. So very nice indeed. Yeah, very cool. The thing I'd suggest whenever you're taking pictures of miniatures as well is like the impetus is to try to just take one picture and do it and finish. Take like 4 or 5 pictures of a miniature. Just whack the take picture thing a couple of times, especially if you're on a mobile phone, and it'll try and autofocus sometimes between the two, and that will mean that after like 4 or 5 pictures you'll get a really nice one out of it. So it's what we do at events to try and get better pictures of stuff, and like boot camps and things. So, but
Chris takes like 20.
Yeah,
you know that's the way.
Yeah, take a whole bunch and you'll find ones that you like the most. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's a classic bottle. That's like what, early 90s? That one.
Yep. Yeah.
I sent it before the first one. And he actually used it as well. Hey, they're still looking pretty good though.
You can tell that it's possibly a lot older though, from the way that it's landed on the tops of the, again I'm pointing at the screen, but the way that it's landed across the backs of the miniature. But yeah. Not too bad though. I'd probably invest in a new wash, I think, but
yeah. Pun Dancer painting the rebels.
Tearing apart rebels again. Yeah.
More Luna Wolves from both, eh?
And he's put names on the bases, so pretty much ready to go for kill team. Garviel and Haster.
But again, like both these painting has come on leaps and bounds over the past few months since he started this project. It's been really good to see. His skin is getting better. The quality of the white he's putting down is getting better too.
It's that pre-shading light, isn't it? Almost in a way that's really helped out there. And the object source lighting's got a lot more focused and clean, I think, which is good.
Yeah.
But again, taking on board, like it all depends how you want things to look. But I really like the fact that took on board some of the things we talked about with these miniatures and toned it down a bit to make it, and it makes the models 10 times better. So
yeah,
it's really good. But again, we're not experts, so yeah.
David working on some knights. I think did he have a project on this as well? These are looking.
I believe so, because I think we talked about House Morton before.
Yeah, they are looking super smooth though.
They are.
Nice mix of colors. Makes my guys look a bit too toy-like. Oh! Oh!
Look, John, you got a tank.
It's a Hollywood tiger. It's like a Kelly. It's the Kelly's Heroes tiger, which is the worst looking tiger.
What is it that makes it a Hollywood tiger then, John?
It's based off a T-34. It's
Oh.
based off a Russian T-34. That's why it has this really stupid, boxy looking weirdness to it, and this is way too far forward. That's just wrong, and the tracks are just terrible.
All kinds of bad.
It's all kinds of bad, and yet Saving Private Ryan did it as well. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
One Stug that would keep Warren happy. Have you been using Blue Tack or Play-Doh or something for your masking? That's what it looks like. Masking as well. You've masked at least, so I tried it with Play-Doh once, didn't go well.
It'd be interesting to see what happens once a wash goes down to the top of that, trying to blend it all together a bit more. So, but got the camo looking good. So,
as I preach every time I talk about camouflage, you make it work and then you break it. So you make it work by making it look as confusing and literally workable as possible, and then your weathering breaks it to make it a proper miniature.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Good shots of the tanks though to get you there.
Look.
Wow.
It's Hermione doing something.
Hermione Granger.
Hermione doing something horrendously Hermione. I'm going to read a book while beating your ass. Yeah.
Wingardium Leviosa. I love the detail that got it. You actually painted some of the writing in the book as well, which is really cool. Very nice. Again, fantastic work on those miniatures. Really cool. A Julie Andrews impression. Very cool.
Stanley is what is this? Fate Slayer Kickstarter Mini.
I don't believe I know what Fate Slayer is.
No.
So
That was a mostly naked lady. That is a nice Grim Reaper-esque kind of guy.
wow.
Very cool.
And a bit of Drop Fleet Commander.
Not seen some Drop Fleet for a while.
Doing some Shaltari there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting reversal of colour choices. I would, most of the time you see Shaltari as the orange as their main focal point, don't you? Doing something slightly different there.
Yeah,
Changing
that's nice. It works really well too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Onward we go. I hate
Alien Soldier.
I hate that Shaltari battleship.
You don't like it?
No, the one time I actually played a game of it, that thing tore me to shreds.
Oh, okay. So it's not an aesthetic thing. It's just
it's not
purely
an aesthetic
tactical thing.
Yeah, purely tactical thing. This guy's cool. What is this guy? Look at that source light. Load, please. Load, please.
You'll never be able to see the source lighting.
Oh no! Don't start this again.
Oh no!
Look at that though. That's got the slightest touch of a green glow off that. It's
That's
like,
really cool. It's Green Arrow. There you go, Jerry.
It's freaking cool. That is so freaking cool. Right, next page maybe if it'll load.
Yay! Small victories. So
More
that's finishing off of the FD laser turret there.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
I mean, there's only so many shades. I'm gonna say it. There's only so many shades of grey out there.
Very true.
Yeah. There isn't 50. I can tell you that much. There ain't 50. Terrible book.
Well, I'm on 42.
Very well done. Amanda's showing off some of her Assaultrons. I love Assaultrons. Those poses are really nice too.
I reckon they'd be pretty awesome for use in a inquisitorial warband.
Ooh, they would.
Imagine you use those as like servitors or something.
Yeah,
That'd
a
be
combat
awesome.
drone or something.
Yeah.
That is a really, really cool idea. They do fit into that sort of 40k aesthetic a bit.
Do a little bit, yeah.
They're a bit too curvy and nice looking for 40k.
Just grunge them up in your
Yeah.
And a rad scorpion.
2 rad scorpions.
And a death scorpion. Death Skull's rad scorpion. Very cool.
Okay, Mandy, you have officially beat me at good quality power armor painting because mine doesn't look anything like that. You even put the red stripe on his arm. He has his rank insignia.
That's really cool. I like how that's come together.
So that's him, and then that's Paladin Dance below it. Really excellent color choice, excellent execution.
Palladium Dance.
Yeah.
And then working on... Oh, yeah. So we saw the work on the Deathwing Sergeant, which was really cool for like the kill team and Space Hulk. So that's nice. And then some terrain.
The Gree barrels. Those are seriously nice.
That's someone who turned their contrast up in Fallout to full on the game.
Colorblind mode.
Colorblind mode.
Yeah.
Very nice though. I like that. Yeah. What's this? Oh, it's from the Nolza line of miniatures. So that's the dead creatures you can get for your D&D games. It's really nice.
Very creepy.
Some like undead wolves.
Wow. Very creepy looking.
Yeah, I like that.
All like the muscle and everything hanging off of them.
Very cool.
And good, nice, simple photography as well. Good, well done on that as well.
Yeah.
What in
a comic book statue that he's been commissioned to paint. I don't know who that is, but
neither did I.
No.
But he looks angry.
Yeah.
It's like half Colossus.
Yeah. Some really nice detail work already though, which is good. Going into this way the skins have come across. That is
It's
huge.
a big mini. Look at that.
Crikey O'Reilly. Wow.
10 inches, nearly 11 inches tall.
Bloody hell.
That is really cool. But see what you can do with a large model though. You can get right in there and you can add all this beautiful fading in around the metal into the skin. You can get all this tone in there, and you don't have to be the best painter in the world to make something that large look effective.
It's true actually. Yeah.
But obviously the more skill you have, the better it'll look overall.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's a really good piece of practice work for skin tones and stuff.
Yeah. Great stuff.
I have no idea what that is. Lady. Geezer UK doing more of his box art. I'm going to call it box art from now on, because it just looks like box art.
Some great new Drukari there.
Yeah.
So,
I almost thought for a minute that Yogi had this person sat there, like had this miniature there, like, come see my airbrush.
Welcome to my airbrush.
Welcome to my airbrush carnival.
Yeah. It's good work though on that model, bringing that out. Nice pale skin work on there, and the blood red of the bodice and stuff. It's very good.
Oh, Geezer's in the chat.
Box art indeed.
Box art indeed. Evil Stew, I
The drop bear is real.
That's terrifying.
Yep. Very fitting.
Quick project for October. Long range
Along with
DACA
DACA
group. Yes. Yes. Buggies and universal carriers. What a way to do it.
That's great.
Very nice. Could do with more DACA on the carriers, to be honest, but apart from that, excellent job. Give me a good chuckle there.
Gorka Morka trucks. Yeah. Well, there's the red to make them go faster.
Yep.
There we go.
That's one way to get Speed Freak stuff ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Best thing about elves as a whole, isn't it? Really, you got to kit bash everything, don't you? So that's really nice detail on the face there.
Yep. Oh, the fades from skin to steel to the brown sort of patinaed, rusty look. Superb.
Superb work.
Oh, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about that.
Because we're going to go on to the
because
projects
we're not
anyway.
going to go on to the projects now anyway. Right, not that one. So we're going to start with this one.
Yeah, so we're going to have a quick look through the projects now. Yeah.
We're not necessarily going to be looking at this project because of what he's actually doing, but because of something I noticed while I was looking at it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember now.
So, Craig, tons of recommendations, which is great. A lot of it in tutoring, which is cool, and a lot of it in idea. So
getting more people interested in the idea of 3D printing, which is good. So, yeah.
So he was looking at a lot of inspirational stuff. There's the 3D printer, glue and milliput and so on.
Some of the painting,
so he's
the
getting
gene
all his
stealers,
background in,
which is cool.
and then he's looking at these STL files that he's been getting and printing out. Because these, I believe, these are probably like openware or whatever, or share.
FlashForge Finder, is that where it is? Flashprint, something. Yes.
So he's been working, or he's doing a Space Hulk with all these wall inserts and stuff like that. Tons.
Which is a good alternative way of doing it, rather than getting up the like MDF kits and stuff. So,
yeah.
But
MDF kits. There's nothing wrong with MDF kits.
Nothing wrong with them. No. John's work looks very lovely. Lovely. Looks very grim, dark, and dangerous. Grr, manly men.
This project's really cool. It's all part of, I think it's part of the Space Hulk Tactics Hobby Challenge.
Yes, which we're still running, so which is pretty good. Where you can get involved and do anything to do with Space Hulk, and if you do, whatever it might be, painting miniatures, terrain, all that kind of thing, stuff like that, we have some awesome prizes, which is really cool. So you can get, and the grand winner gets himself a copy of Space Hulk itself, and something else cool as well, which I believe we talked about on the weekend. I think it was really cool.
Know.
Something to do with something from Thomas Menez. So watch out for that.
You never know.
Yeah.
But going on, seeing the print and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
This
yeah,
still isn't really what I want to talk about.
No.
Which is coming up. I love his occasional Space Marine. You know, the Blood Angel, Imperial Fist, this guy. And then this picture caught my eye because I was looking at this going, that's curious looking.
Yeah.
And then I looked at that and went, that's even more curious.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Curiouser, and then I seen this.
Ba, ba, ba.
I see a candy blue shiny ultramarine and I fell in love with it straight away. We need pictures of this properly. We need to see this army or force or whatever you have, because that is so stark and so cool looking. It actually makes ultramarines look really, really cool. And I want to try it myself at some point. So I want to see if you have pictures of your army up, because I would love to have a look at them and see what your process was. And that's it. That's all.
Yeah, we were wandering through it and we saw those on the. Was it on the forums? We saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So yeah,
it could be.
Discuss Drive metallic tanks. Could be.
The cobalt blue I have definitely isn't that, Chris. It's probably a silver with a ghost tint over it, perhaps a plasma fluid ghost tint might be what this is. So like over a chrome finish base coat, you know, black primer, chrome finish paint, and then a plasma fluid ghost tint is probably how to do this. I will experiment and find out.
And yes, it does look like there are actually pipes under the floor.
Yes, this 3D printing project as a whole is incredible looking.
And even if it is bits and pieces from the laser printing, it looks like pipes under the floor. So
yeah, if these are just supports for the actual print,
still works greatly.
I don't care because it just adds to it.
Yeah, very cool.
Very, very nice project. Can't wait to see what this is like when it's finished. And this one I wanted to look at as well, just because of that image. And a couple other images, because this
John had a little cry.
This is the hobby setup I want, either at home or in this office, whatever. I want this setup. I also love your taste of metallic paints in there as well, because those are the true golds, which are alcohol based.
Okay.
If you put them down in like 2 coats, it is almost a solid chrome finish.
Wow.
It is a beautiful paint to work. It's a bit of a pain to clean your brushes afterwards.
Yeah.
But it is really, really good stuff. And I wanted to show Shedtopia because it has so many recommendations for idea, but it still made me laugh. So there's the entrance to the shed, right? There's some bits and bobs. Look at them enjoying themselves. Shed upside down. When I first seen this, I giggled and I was like, "Are they in Australia?
Australia? Yeah.
Are you Australians?"
Yeah. Or it's very, yeah. I mean, you can see, even though the picture is on its side, you can still see how awesome that is.
It is such a nice hobby space. I love his choice of, and I'm going to sound like an interior decorator now. His choice of colours is so neutral that nothing is distracting you from it.
Yeah.
The shape is, everything is nice and clean and tidy, and even when you eventually coat this in paint, which you're inevitably going to do, it's still
yes,
nice.
it is a nice wooden floor as well.
It is a nice wooden floor.
Getting all grand designs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. DIY SOS. I love this one again because I had to think about it for a minute before I realised it was upside down too.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's such a great space.
And choosing where to put everything.
That's my only criticism with his choice of shelving layout is, these can take 3 or 4 Vallejo pots, each 4 Vallejo pots. But how do I know which colour it is if I'm just looking at the cap?
He's painted the nubbin at the end.
He's painted. Is that what it's called? The nubbin?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with nubbins after last night, so you had to watch to find out that. But
yeah.
Unless you did watch it last night, in which case you know exactly what a nubbin is. So.
But this just made me so jealous. I need a shed at home that I can sit and do that with.
Yeah. Superb stuff.
Perfect. And now we're going on to a Titanicus project because it's also really cool. Again, because I'm not picking it out because you've got. How do you say this without annoying people? It's not because of the painting skill, it's because of the painting approach. It's the approach to the build and the paint that is interesting to me.
Yeah, the formula that he's gone through in order to bring this to life.
Yeah.
What a neat looking pie.
That is a very neat looking pie. That is John's share. That's Warren and Justin's share.
Do I not get any pie?
Alright, you can have the blue bit.
Okay.
You can have the blue bit, and Justin can have the yellow bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Blueberry, custard, and rage. There we go.
No!
Don't eat yellow pie.
Yellow pie. Sound advice, Jerry.
Yeah.
So...
Afternoon, laughing boy.
Hello, laughing boy. We're just laughing.
Yeah.
The
next picture sort of shows off the kind of thing we're talking about here, doesn't it? Because when it comes to pieces like like these Titans, where you've got so many fiddly bits, it does behoove you to actually start thinking about painting things on the sprue. Now, normally I would never even go that way, because I'd hate to feel like I'd paint certain parts of the model and then get it completely wrong on other bits. Yeah. But I think if you approach it from a certain way and you think about the sort of the process you go through, and like, I'm going to make sure I do all of these bits in one go and use the same colour formulas and that kind of thing, I think you're pretty much on the right track with it. And you can see that it's come across really nicely here. But
the approach here is good because it's getting all those base colours down.
Yeah.
Even though you still have to clip it from the sprue, but at the same time you don't need to do the edging filigree and stuff on the plates.
Yeah.
As long as you have your main colours down, I think that's a good approach.
Yeah, and it means that something as big as this, you're not going to miss something in a gap.
Yeah.
Especially on something that's good, people are gonna see things that you've like glossed over, I think.
Yeah.
So doing this approach.
I think we've just discovered the process for the ultramarine. Airbrush silver and put a coat of Tamiya clear blue over the top of it. Now, he didn't airbrush the clear blue over it, but doesn't that look remarkably similar?
It does, actually. Something to try out.
Is this the same person?
No.
Where's his name?
Marcus Louis.
It's definitely not the same person.
No.
Is it?
But I'm in the same boat as Laughing Boy, as he says in the comments there. It's like, I had the discipline to do that.
Yeah.
Because I really, really enjoy putting the models together.
But now, this is the thing, I don't have that discipline either. I want to build the model. Warren was freaking out that I built that warlord before I started painting. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to build it." It's telling me to build it.
Yeah.
I made a concession. I made some of it. I just super glued some of it on so I could tear it off later because they've been priming.
Yeah. So one thing I actually need to get into a lot more is using super glue to kind of like sub-assembly or part assemble and then pop the bits off when you need to.
Yeah.
Actually.
Sub-assemblies for the win, as Jerry quite rightly says.
Yeah.
I love the random holiday picture. I'm on holiday now. This
is
cool.
This was the other bit, yeah.
Using these small micro stencils or whatever they are to get all of this on. And the best bit is, you don't have to be the best painter and you don't need to be the smoothest of painter, especially if you start weathering this stuff afterwards. And you can make it fade in really nicely. And then his last post here currently in the project is working on the Warhounds, which, again, I love that blue. I think if you were airbrushing that blue on, because I don't think he is in this case, it looks a bit patchy for that.
Yeah.
But if he was airbrushing that on, that would look really tidy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how the other guy's done the Ultramarine. So.
Very nice. Jerry was saying I wouldn't paint on the sprue, but because the amount of touch-up after it was all clipped off would cause him to top himself. You know, all those little tiny gaps of grey. Yeah.
What I would do if you had the patience and the time to do it was get your base colours down on all of that, and then give it a coat of matte varnish to protect that a little bit, and then get your building done, and then do your fine detail.
Chris says, poll time. What colour scheme for Speed Freaks?
Red.
Yellow.
You're done.
Yellow. Not red. Yellow.
Why? Red go faster.
Yeah, but yellow's tough, and I want to see if Chris can do it. So.
Pink.
I'm sure there's an alt clan. There you go. Manda says
pink. Manda was in before me.
Yeah.
Pink.
I hear he has a red Gorka Morka biker gang, a goth orc mob, and the Bad Moons mob. Yeah, so you do Bad Moons and can do yellow. There you go. Chris says yellow. Boom. Although Midgetina also says pink, so... Oh, racing green. But then you've got orcs that are green. Unless you do them with like really cool face paint.
You could, yeah.
Basically, we've not solved your problem.
No. British racing green is too dark, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a project you and I both looked at and thought, we want to talk about this, because you guys mentioned something about similar lines on a weekender?
Yeah, so we talked about, I think it was 2 weekends ago. Well, the last weekender we did, so 2 weekends ago. Yeah, that's the right way. We talked about old models and painting old models with new techniques. And sort of challenging people in the community to try and do the same. And so when we saw these ones, which are the old Talaran Desert Raiders,
pretty much the original,
which have never been changed, as John pointed out, since they're old metal models. Seeing these guys brought back to the tabletop and done with new painting techniques has come across really nicely, which was really cool to see. So
Kill Crazy, if you're checking out his project, give him a few recommendations there. He's very equal. That's really nice.
The Rage Pie is smaller though. Yeah, we aren't logged in, so don't. That's why we're not clicking all the buttons and stuff. But yeah, just so we save privacy and all that kind of thing. But yeah, getting those old models, getting them back down to the tabletop and painting them up in some new ways is really cool.
I think the only thing that keeps the Talaran looking relatively decent is the fact that the las rifle looks very similar to the current Cadian las rifle in the shape and size and stuff. Because the older ones were like I
was trying to remember whether or not Talaran actually used auto rifles, because there was the big thing with the Imperial Guard back in the day, where some of them used auto rifles and some of them used las rifles. Yeah, because some of them actually still fired projectiles rather than lasers. Maybe it was auto guns. That's what I'm thinking of, not auto rifles. Auto guns. Because that actually came up when you were playing the role-playing game. You could choose whether you want to use a las gun or an auto gun. But
And Jerry's
two sculpts that did. There you go.
Jerry's talking about doing an old Mordian project.
Yeah, you can crack those out.
Yeah. He wants to do them though in RUC colours, which is the Northern Ireland's old police force.
Oh, okay.
So they're like all really dark green trousers, tunics, and hats. but they have little red like crown and harp symbols on them, and they have a weird like a lime green shirt. So it's an odd color. It's an odd scheme. It's very
and weirdly
dark,
quite good for doing some kind of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah,
that's great.
It would actually suit rather nicely.
Yeah. But yeah, we actually get a little bit more of a better look at the. I mean, obviously that's the studio paint jobs that we saw back in the day, going for that sort of Goblin Green-esque style flocked basing and things, which is pretty cool. But then you can see some of the stuff he's been doing, using a bit of the old dark yellow and stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing them coming together really nicely there. Bit of a wash over the top of them, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the post wash. And
I'm not sure he's
closing in on the.
I'm not sure he's completely finished this project yet.
No.
I mean, that's already looking so much more realistic. The cloth looks so much tidier as well. And I think going with colours that are just a little less vibrant than the Games Workshop standard works really well for them.
Yeah. And just seeing that, it was just really nice seeing a little bit more work going into these raiders and bringing them to life again. And going with, you could use a lot of the techniques that you might use if you're going to do sort of World War II stuff, couldn't you? Really, if you're going to do like desert rats and stuff.
Or if you're a modern wargaming player, then you have experience with it. If you're doing the likes of Force and Force or a lot of the stuff that Gianna's interested in,
yeah, whether or not you're doing like the operators or the insurgents, you've still got interesting choices there, which is really cool. So yeah, it's a weird sentence when you say a bunch of guardsmen wearing flesh coats. There we go. Scroll up. A batch of guardsmen waiting for their flesh coats. I think they've fallen to chaos.
Talaran's gone, man.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Jerry has 400 Praetorians if he wants to run his army. Wow.
No. Hang on, Praetorians. As in the pith helmeted Praetorians, yeah?
Yeah. Praetorian Guard.
Like the ones we have a brand new starter set of sat in the office that's from like 20 years ago.
What?
Have you not seen that?
No.
We have the original starter set for them. For the Praetorian Imperial Guard.
That needs coming back.
Yeah.
That needs bringing to life. Men of Pretoria, stop your dreaming. Oh.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see some of the finish work, some more of the finish work going into those, which is really cool, and how they've been brought together, which is really nice. So. It's in the other room,
It's in the other
right
room.
behind the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry's hitting it. Yeah.
So I think on that note, we'll call it for the day, because this is a really cool project.
Because you're going to go and show me some.
I'm going to go show you the Praetorians.
Praetorian Guard.
Jerry, if you don't want those Praetorians, you know where they'd be appreciated for a future army project, right?
So yeah, it is a little bit of a shorter stream today, but only because we've got a lot of stuff that we need to get stuck into. Obviously, I'm over here for a reason that will become apparent once we start doing the Weekender, which you'll see on the weekend. You've got other stuff you need to get in on. You've got your Space Hulk project, which is really cool. So if you want to go and follow that, we've got the vlogs going up on Backstage, which is really nice to see. So go and check that out. And of course, merch. #merch.
Buy it.
Buy all that stuff. If you didn't see the live stream last night, we played 2 games of Nyctophobia, which is a really cool game where you wear blindfold glasses. And the catch-up of that is going up later this afternoon at about 3 o'clock, so watch out for that. And also, if you're a Backstager, wait till 5 o'clock this evening, where we have a very awesome Halloween special, where we did something very cool, getting a whole bunch of us together with some funny costumes and some awesome stuff there. So watch out for that. I won't spoil any more about it. But if you've been listening to Warren on the Weekender over the last couple of weeks, maybe that will give you a bit of a hint towards what's going on with that, which is pretty cool. But see you guys next week.
I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
And
I'll be back in the digital realm.
Yeah. Next week you'll be back behind the screen instead of here.
Yeah. You won't get my awesome paint skills next week. If you go and check out the post.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. The chat has been fantastic. We've had a look at some really interesting projects and looking through the Waypan thread as well.
Another bit of inspiration, another bit of poking Ben to go onto websites and buy things that he doesn't need.
Yeah.
Especially when he's just got Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm talking about myself in the third person there. So,
Yeah. John recently got back into Crossout and is waiting for Fallout 76,
which we have been saying would be awesomely redone as a Speed Freaks game.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Anyway, guys,
yes,
we will see you.
We're waffling now.
Yeah, we will see you next week with another hobby hangout.
Lance will be back, hopefully. So
probably be back, and look forward to the weekenders that are going to be going out in their usual slots this weekend. I believe there's no distractions.
Back to normal, no events this week. So back to weekenders, back to luck. We've got some awesome stuff coming up today.
Yeah,
loads of awesome things in the pipeline. Carry on watching John's stuff with his Space Hulk bits and bobs, which are looking fantastic. So yeah.
Right, all the best, guys, and we will see you all again very soon.